Welcome back to The Power and the Glory. Today's scripture is taken from the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verses 24 to 27. But before I start the scripture, please like, share, and subscribe. It does make a huge difference to the Google algorithm. And thank you to my existing subscribers for your ongoing support. I really do appreciate it. So I'll read the scripture now. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, yet it did not fall, because it had its foundations on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash. So this is part of the Sermon on the Mount. It's the end of the Sermon on the Mount, and specifically, this is the parable of the wise and foolish builders. So here, Jesus teaches that his teachings have to be more than listened to. They have to be applied with wisdom by his followers and put into practice. If you build a house based on his teachings, that's what he's saying, it will be built on a solid foundation made of rock. It will withstand the storms, trials, and hardships of life. But if you ignore his wisdom, it will be like building on sand, leading to a catastrophic collapse. And this highlights the need for obedience to Jesus to ensure stability in this life through to eternity. So let's now go and look at the scripture in more detail, starting off with the wise builder. Well, who is the wise builder? He's the man who is in obedience to Jesus' teachings. And because of this, he builds his house on a rock, a strong foundation. The end result of that is the house stands firm and solid against the storms of life and all its trials and tribulations. In contrast to this, in verses 26 to 27, we cover the foolish builder. This refers to those who do not heed to Jesus' wise counsel and go their own way in disobedience to him, and in so doing build their house on an unstable foundation of sand. Now, the end result of this, the house collapses catastrophically when the storms come in. It's worthy to note that the second builder didn't set out to collapse his house. He just didn't really consider the importance of a strong foundation. So what are the key learnings then from the scripture? Well, it's that it's not enough to hear. You must listen and obey. The key learning here is that believers must not only hear what Jesus says, but apply his warnings and obey him. The other point is storms come for all, but the outcome depends on you. Both builders face the same storms, and following Jesus doesn't prevent discomfort and hardship, but it will provide you with a necessary strong foundation to weather the storm. In summary, the parable forms a strong ending to the Sermon on the Mount, encouraging listeners to build with Christ with a strong and lasting foundation. The final point is this, is that you can build houses that look very similar in size and structure, but you will only find out the strength of the foundation when the storms come, in this world or at final judgment.